Don't be bemused, it's just the news. Reporting live from KTRCC, my name is Kaila Banico, and I'll be your news anchor this evening. Here's what's happening in the world today. COVID-19. This RNA virus, more commonly known as coronavirus, is an enveloped virus with widely spaced glycoprotein spikes. It targets our lower respiratory tract and is now recently treated with Paxlovid, which is a protease inhibitor. Paxlovid is made from two different kinds of drugs, one being called nirmatrelvir, which was developed by Pfizer, and this specific drug interferes with viral replication. The second half of this drug is made from ritofamin or ritonavir. Sorry about that. Ritonavir essentially allows the antiviral drug to last longer. So it slows down the breakage of nirmatrelvir. What makes this virus so virulent is its glycoprotein spikes and its angiotensin converting enzyme 2, which is a binding receptor, which means that whatever it binds to, it will bind to automatically because it essentially attracts the cells to it. The preventative measures for this virus is very familiar to all of us in the pandemic. Make sure you get your RNA vaccines like Moderna or Pfizer. Make sure you wear your masks to avoid direct contact. And make sure you social distance. Yes, even though everything is still opening up, make sure you social distance from everyone. Keep yourself safe and keep others safe as well. Speaking of close contact and wearing masks, the way this virus is transmitted is via close contact, believe it or not, via droplets. Hence why we need the mask. It protects us from inhaling or absorbing any droplets into our bodies. Portals of entry are eyes, nose, and mouth. Makes sense. And reservoirs. See, now although there's very little evidence, it is shown that mammals like bats were the primary reservoirs of COVID-19. Now, this does not mean that just because someone in China ate a bat, that because of that bat, they got COVID. Yes, maybe the bat had that virus, but what could that bat have gotten it from? Correlation does not equal causation, folks. See, many of these signs and symptoms are also very flu-like, except for two very prominent ones. You have your loss of taste and smell and your difficulty breathing / shortness of breath. If you happen to get or experience any of these symptoms, specifically the loss of taste and smell, please go test immediately. And if you test positive, let your employers or let your school board know. Keep yourself safe, everybody. And the way that most people will test for this specific disease is through an RT-PCR test, or normally for us, it's PCR test. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the curative test around school or just around the city. You can go to those at any time or make an appointment at any time to test for COVID if you believe that you have one of the previously listed symptoms. This test specifically tests for viral nucleic acids in the body. And it can be followed up with an at-home antigen test. While you can take an antigen test solely by itself, it would be best to do both the PCR and just be safe about it. And like I've mentioned prior, if you do have loss of taste, smell, and you can't breathe, it would be best to definitely check up with the doctor. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned yet, the RT-PCR test is only good for the early stages of the disease. Once it goes systemic, like once it hits your bronchial tubes or your lungs, then we already know you have COVID. However, though, there is still so much information, so many things to learn about this virus. So there's still ongoing investigations about it. If you think you need some extra information about the virus, you can always check the CDC website. Uh, and please do your research. Stay safe. And now going to Kenya, who is live, sharing a new story about a very unexpected virus making an appearance in the LA region.
Good evening, this is Kenia and you're watching KTRC TV. LA region in Riverside County has reported 2 new cases of the West Nile virus. The West Nile virus is an enveloped RNA virus. This virus targets the central nervous system, the brain, meninges, spinal cord. Serological testing and RT-PCR testing is suggested to diagnose this virus. Both of these individuals have not yet shown any signs. They have only shown some symptoms, mild flu-like symptoms, headache and nausea. This mosquito initially feeds off birds, then transmits into humans. Mosquitoes become infected after feeding on infected birds. The West Nile virus is common in birds, humans, and other animals in Africa, Australia, Eastern Europe, West Asia, and Middle East. There has been no treatment for the West Nile virus. Doctors suggest supportive care, IV fluids, breathing support. The LA region and Riverside County plan to spray down these cities tonight. It is said that the spraying will be happening at least once a week for several weeks. Please be aware to stay indoors this summer. Wear a bug spray and protective clothing. If you or anybody is concerned or might think that has been bit by a mosquito, one of these infected mosquitoes, please visit your local doctor, urgent care hospital to get some treatment, to get supportive care. That's it for tonight, folks. Have a good night.